was like, he has a rule. The bass player, he got a rule. He got to wax his head every morning. That's a rule. He follows the rules, man. He follows the rules. Oh, these are jokes. Come on. See, you got too into the characters and got hurt.
See, you got too into the characters and got hurt. Apologize for my voice, number one. But look, this is Will Smith on the Arsenio Hall show making fun of another man's bald head. And he's doing it without the consideration of why this man is bald, how he feels about being bald, or any significant other who may be offended at this joke. He makes the joke knowing that it's just jokes. You hear what he said? And then Arsenio Hall followed by that says, see, you got too into the character and you got hurt or you got in your feelings, right? Also, I'm sure you could find many bald jokes on Uncle Phil from the show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And so this is my point is, when you're outside of something, family, you can see the humor and you can see the joke. But when it happens to you, you can feel the emotion and you want to respond from the emotion. From the outside, there's humor. So this is Will Smith being faced with a harsh reality here. He's made a career of making these type of jokes. You understand? But now that it's happened, he's on the inside looking out and it doesn't feel very good. And in all honesty, if Will Smith is right for how he responded, then the man that's up there on the stands being clowned right now, he would be right and justified if he went and slapped Will Smith. Honestly put, because that could offend him. He could have a condition, and it doesn't matter, honestly, whether or not he had a condition or not. If we're acting out of our emotions, everyone is going to be justified in their actions. Do you understand? And so if you guys want to say, let's be non-biased, then Will Smith deserves to be slapped by the people that he called bald, or at least by their spouses. You understand? But I digress. Years later, someone jokes on Will Smith's wife's head and he gets too into the character and loses it. You see, but it's just jokes. Even Will Smith himself knows this as he's made fun of someone else's head. Now, he put out a public apology. Let me read it. It says, violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. I don't doubt that Will Smith feels this way because his entire life he's made a point to not be violent. He didn't cuss in his music. I can't think of anything outside of in the media that he's done in his personal life that we would consider violent or consider him as a loose cannon. He just hasn't. He's done a good job of representing black people well by giving us a strong, positive role model, correct? But he says my behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job. But a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. Even he realizes he reacted emotionally. But even here, he's still responding from his pain, from the offense. It was not a joke about Jada's medical condition at all. It was a G.I. Jane joke. G.I. Jane had a shaved head, not alopecia, okay? And she wasn't bad looking. She was a very strong woman, very capable woman on this movie, right? Jada, as Nairobi on The Matrix, played a similar role in Kung Fu. She was very, she had fighting skills and things of that nature. And even on there, her hair wasn't long. It was in a style. But as far as Jada goes, her and her daughter Willow, they always do crazy hairstyles and things like that because, they just challenge the boundaries. You know what I mean? So it's difficult to pinpoint why they would shave their head. It would just seem like a different style for them. You see what I'm saying? So people joking on Jada's head or her bald style is in no way, shape, or form proof that they knew about her alopecia. But in this moment, he still says it was jokes about her medical condition. It wasn't, but I'll continue. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man that I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I know Will Smith feels this way, and that's why I told you guys, when you get caught up in the moment, you can lose yourself, lose your foresight. You understand? And you can act out of yourself, which is being possessed by the anger itself. And it's not yourself that's acting, it's you acting out of the anger, which is going to yield a whole different outcome, and you can ruin your life with these actions. Okay, he has a second part to his apology. It says, I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family, the King Richard family, I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. It's true. And while he has given us such a stellar character to be inspired by, he is only human, family. And I'm telling you guys, on any given day, if we are not in balance with ourselves and our energy, someone can bring us out of our frame and we can respond in a way that is not indicative of the people that we want to be. And after the fact, we will be devastated if we have integrity. We will have a lot of guilt. We will want to apologize. We will want to undo that, but you can't undo it. Once the damage is done, it is done. Can he rise from it? Absolutely. But this will be something that will be talked about for the foreseeable future. You understand? In a moment's notice, something happened that he didn't like, and he didn't like that experience, even though it would have lasted but only a moment. And because he reacted in a negative way, in violence, which is not typical of him, he now has to endure this for the foreseeable future. Anytime he goes online, he's going to have to see this. Jokes about this, jokes about Jada, jokes about him. You understand? It's very hard to live these things down, family. You can rise above them. But when you really think about it, wouldn't it be better to just make the right decision the first time instead of having to go through all of the karma that's associated with our actions, with the negative behaviors? I keep trying to encourage you guys that, we can have an amazing life and build amazing careers and conquer amazing goals and feats and get far in our journey. But if we have low emotional intelligence, we can blow it all with one action. You understand? And Will Smith is a perfect example of that, not of blowing it all, but an example of how you could spend years building up a positive reputation, and in one moment's notice, people can look at you totally different. You see what I'm saying? And you got to imagine for him, what that must feel like. You understand? You got to imagine for Chris Rock what he must be going through, because honestly, he had every right to be upset about that. Will Smith was wrong. Now, he handled it in an amazing way, so shout out to Chris Rock. You understand? For me, I look at it like Will Smith already got up, went and slapped Chris Rock, all because of what Chris Rock said, but it's probably because of what Will Smith was going through. Jada's always, people always talk about how Jada loves Tupac, and Tupac had an image of violence as far as in the media goes, right? With his beats with Biggie and the way his music sounded, people see Tupac as gangster. Well, Will Smith is total opposite of that guy. So people joke about Will Smith being the beta male to Tupac's alpha and things like that. And so when you keep hearing things like this over and over, and you get an opportunity to prove to your wife that you got it in you, you just might take it. And I feel like that's what happened. He wasn't even angry. He was laughing at the joke. You understand? As soon as he saw Jada's face, it was like, oh, I'm going to show y'all or show her. I'm not. But here's my thing, though. In doing that, family, again, he walks up here, he slaps him, and it didn't even do anything to Chris Rock. Staggered a little bit, but he gathered his composure and still had a great show. He barely even stuttered after. You understand? He was in shock because Will Smith slapped him, but the pressure from the hit didn't seem to do any damage. And so now Will Smith has slapped a man, and now he's sitting down screaming at a man who his slap didn't seem to affect. If I get up and go slap someone for insulting one of my wives, I intend on knocking them to the shadow realm. If they're still standing there talking calmly, I'm going to feel like my smack wasn't worth anything. And that's also going to hurt me. So now people have been joking about how weak Will Smith is because he don't respond to certain situations the way most of us would, the August Alsina situation and things like that. Now they're going to be saying, dude, you ain't even got no right hand. You ain't even got no power behind your hits. You didn't even daze this man. His hands was down. You had a free hit and you couldn't even, and Will Smith shouldn't let this get to him. You know what I mean? It's something that happened, but it's something to consider. Whenever we open up these cans of worms for people to make all these jokes in the future, and if we had never acted on that, we would have never had to worry about it, family. Please stay balanced and don't blow it for someone else. They're not worth it. You understand? Be evolution, be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it's in that chaos that you find yourself. Peace.